Case 1. The Arrest and the Crime. The series kicks off with a shocking early morning police raid. Jamie Miller, an apparently average 13-year-old, is suddenly yanked from his bed and arrested for the murder of his classmate Katie Leonard. As officers burst through the door, the shock is palpable. From Jamie's panic-induced accident to his mother's stunning disbelief as her seemingly safe world crumbles before her eyes. With a heavy heart, Jamie insists he's innocent, even as the family rushes to the police station. His father, Eddie, played by co-creator Stephen Graham, finds it hard to grapple with the horrifying truth. When the camera shifts to Jamie's tearful confession, the impact hits differently. This gentle boy, teetering on the edge of childhood and adulthood, is caught on CCTV stabbing Katie in a cul-de-sac, showing no hesitation and devoid of remorse. The choice to film each episode in a single continuous take creates a gripping immediacy, making it feel like we're not just watching the story unfold, but are actually part of it. The mundane police procedure drag on in tense, almost stalker-like stillness until the horror becomes unmistakable. By the time the episode wraps up, the emotional weight crashes down. Eddie collapses in despair, Jamie's denial clashes with the undeniable evidence, and the harsh truth sinks in that nothing will be the same for this family ever again. The streets of northern England transforms into a crucible, a parent's worst nightmare unfolding in real time. Episode 1 does precisely what it needs to do. It hits with raw intensity, drops you straight into the heart of a family crisis, and refuses to let you escape. All of this is delivered in one unbroken breath. That gut-wrenching introduction sets the stage for what's to come. A deep dive into motives, the digital influence shaping young minds, and the gradual disintegration of a family union. Case 2. School investigation and social triggers. On day 3 after the murder, the camera dives into Jamie's world. His school has transformed into a crime scene, filled with disbelief and sorrow. Detectives Bascombe and Frank arrive to find students whispering anxiously and teachers overwhelmed, grappling with the harsh reality of how dangerous teenage social dynamics have become. Inside the classroom, emotions are running wild. Katie's friend, Jade, unleashes her hurt and anger, her sarcasm barely concealing her rage as she points fingers at Jamie's friend, Ryan, suggesting he's somehow involved. Slowly, a darker motivation starts to emerge. Not just a failed romance, but a toxic mix of rejection, misunderstanding, and the cruel influence of social media. Even the detectives seem perplexed, until Bascombe's teenage son, Adam, steps in with his perspective. He unpacks the emoji-filled Instagram messages between Katie and Jamie, uncovering that Katie has labeled Jamie an incel, a term linked to troubling ideas of toxic masculinity from figures like Andrew Tate. This isn't harmless teasing, it's a deep-seated digital shaming. Faced with this revelation, Ryan crumbles. He had given Jamie the knife to scare Katie, never dreaming Jamie would use it to take her life. Ryan's involvement makes him guilty, and he's taken into custody for conspiracy. This episode isn't just about physical evidence, it's centered on the emotional scars left by high schoolers. It highlights how they wield social media like a weapon, and how adults often miss the mark in understanding their struggles. The narrative showcases how a lifetime of miscommunication can be encapsulated in a single phone screen. Visually, the episode is incredibly immersive. Shot in one continuous take with hundreds of extras, it portrays the stifling atmosphere of a school turned into crime scene and the uneasy tension between teenagers and adults. Every hushed accusation, lingering glance, and silenced tear adds to the growing sense of dread. As the episode draws to a close, the camera rises from the school to the shadowy parking lot where Katie lost her life, showing as a powerful visual reminder of the loss of innocence that started within those very walls. Episode 2 may lack in high-octane action, but its impact is profound, as it lays bare the machinery of teen anger and miscommunication, the subtle violence of social media, the obliviousness of adults, and the fallout from turning cruelty into something public. This is where the understanding of the crime begins to take shape. Case 3. Psychological Breakdown and Confession. Episode 3 of Adolescence takes a turn, stripping away flashy visuals and drama to give deep into the raw, psychological breakdown of Jamie Miller as he faces scrutiny. Instead of familiar settings like schools or homes, we find ourselves in a dimly lit interrogation room filled with books in a youth detention center. The visitor is Brian Ariston, a clinical psychologist played by Aaron Doherty, who is there to determine if Jamie is fit to stand trial. However, their conversation quickly morphs into a tense psychological game. where Bryony offers Jamie a hot chocolate topped with sprinkles and half a sandwich. The moment feels surprisingly tender, a flicker of compassion caught between kindness and strategy. Many on Reddit, including mental health professionals, have praised her approach to building rapport. One child psychologist pointed out that bringing treats helps him feel more trusting, highlighting that Brian's efforts to connect are deliberate, a clinical move in the right decision. Yet beneath her calm inquiries lie an intense battle of wills. Jamie deflects her questions with sarcasm, comments, and tight facial expressions, pushing back against Brian's authority. Sometimes he teases, sometimes he mocks, all while maintaining a chilling sense of control. He makes statements like, "I didn't touch her," insinuating that he avoided sexual assault even in the context of murder. An unsettling logic that exposes how he justifies violence to uphold his identity. Brittany digs deeper, exploring Jamie's thoughts on gender, masculinity, and the trauma behind Katie's death. The conversation becomes charged, revealing the harsh realities of social media, misogyny, and a toxic form of masculinity that lurks beneath the surface of teenage identity. This isn't just therapy, it's a forensic examination, a gripping exchange filled with insight and dread. The tension grows as Jamie challenges her, both unsure of who truly has the upper hand, while Bryony remains steady, refusing to show weakness. Reddit users have noticed this dynamic as a striking power imbalance. While the therapist may possess intellectual superiority, Jamie commands the room with a chilling calm. By the episode's end, Bryony's assumptions become painfully clear. Not just an observation, but a verdict. Jamie is fit for trial, yet deeply troubled. That stark realization forces viewers to confront the unsettling logic hidden behind the disillusionment of youth. Episode 3 doesn't merely explore motivations, it feels like a psychological dissection, a powerful sequence that leaves us grappling with the darkness of Jamie's mind. What unfolds isn't a confession, it's the unraveling of innocence, one probing question at a time. Case 4. Aftermath and Family Impact. In episode 4 of Adolescence, we shift the focus back to the Miller family, who are now shattered, feeling empty, and forever altered. 13 months have passed since the tragic murder, and they are desperately trying to hold on to a sense of normal life. Today marks Eddie Miller's 50th birthday, but joy feels buried beneath the heavy burden of grief. When Eddie wakes up to find a homemade card from Jamie, it briefly ignites a flicker of hope within him, yet that spark is soon overshadowed. Their family van has been defaced with the word nunts, a hurtful label intended to paint them as monsters and abusers. In a frantic attempt to erase that stigma, Eddie takes Manda and Lisa to a hardware store. This errand is as much about removing the graffiti as it is about fighting back against the cruelty of public perception. At the store, a well-intentioned clerk mistakenly drives into conspiracy theories and offers misguided advice about viral nude photos and crowdfunding for legal help. This unwelcome intrusion emphasizes just how unbearable public judgment has become for them. Outside, they spot the teenagers who vandalized their van, and Eddie's anger boils over. He confronts them, intimidating them before he clumsily splatters paint on the van, an act that feels both punishing and pitiful. It's a raw and striking moment, exposing how deeply trauma has changed him. On the drive back home, Jamie's voice finally breaks through on the phone. His message is straightforward, but earth-shattering. He intends to plead guilty. The shock on Eddie's face fills the car's atmosphere. There's no relief, just the harsh reality of facing the truth. Jamie's words act as a turning point, both a confession and a poignant gift. Back at home, the family clings to each other. Mandy suggests maybe deciding has made it a bit easier. Later, Eddie finds himself in Jamie's room, silent, tidy, filled with remnants of childhood. He carefully places a teddy bear in bed, kisses it, and murmurs, "I'm sorry, son. I should have done better." The scene closes with Katie's haunting song, Through the Eyes of a Child, performed by Amelia Holliday, Katie's actress. It lingers, a solemn reminder of innocence that has been lost. This ending isn't neat or tidy. It embraces a slow, aching pain. The Millers are neither villains nor irreparably damaged, but they remain standing amidst the wreckage of what if. Adolescence wraps up not with clear answers, but with the heavy emptiness that follows tragedy, and a stark warning that radical beliefs can quickly take root in even the most ordinary of homes. If this breakdown helped you understand adolescence more deeply, I'd really appreciate it if you hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell icon to stay in the loop, because there's more inspiring content coming your way. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you in the next one.